It is important for everyone working in healthcare to understand health literacy. There is a language to healthcare which is not part of many people's everyday life. People seeking healthcare information are not familiar with this language. In general, people only seek health information when they need it, and it is often when they are already ill or experiencing a stressful situation. Health professionals can make small changes that will make it easier for everyone.
Well, I first became aware of health literacy really when I trained as a literacy tutor about 10 years ago with Dublin VC on a literacy scheme. Initially I worked with people on a one-to-one basis, helping them with reading and writing basic reading and writing skills. And then as a result of that I went on to study adult education in UCD, which really is invaluable, has been invaluable to me in my work here as a community dietitian. I mean, apart from there is the very obvious fact that if people can't read and write, certainly read, a lot of our material is written, so it may be very difficult for them to understand the basic information we're trying to impart to them. I wasn't really made aware of health literacy as such when I trained, which is a good few years ago, but that has changed a lot now, and people, there is literacy awareness training available to staff, and people are much more aware of it as an issue, I think. The approach that I take now is that we have a lot of our leaflets, we have two versions of them. We would have the very detailed version of leaflets and booklets, and then we have the more basic leaflets that we can start off with that have a lot of visuals in them and that are very, very clear. We have a tool, a visual tool that we can use as a virtual supermarket tour, so we can use it in a clinic situation.
I first became aware of health literacy when I worked for a time as a paediatric nurse, but I have to say it was a very limited awareness at that time. Working with families who had children with chronic illness and would be taking them home and have to give treatments at home, it was very obvious that for parents who had poor spoken English skills, that difficulties would be there for them. But I would never have thought that families that had good spoken English would have experienced similar difficulties. And it was only really when I moved to work in consumer information out in the community that I became aware of the broader issues around literacy and how it impacted on people's health and well-being. Literacy skills such as reading, writing and dealing with numbers are essential for managing your health and well-being. But what's more important, I think, is the confidence, being comfortable with reading, writing and numeracy skills give people when they're going to find out new information or to ask about services. People run into trouble with in healthcare settings in many areas. Some of them seem very simple. For some people, dealing with application forms is difficult. They may not say to you that they have reading or writing difficulties, but will often be embarrassed, so may say, "I'm sorry, I can't fill it out. Will you help me fill it out? I've forgotten my glasses." Or can I take it away with me to fill it out, and they'll get somebody at home to fill in all the answers for them. I think being literacy aware has made me change a lot of my day-to-day practices. I work quite a lot with written information, producing leaflets and booklets, and I'm very conscious of using the plain English NALA guidelines.
Maybe if the healthcare system, maybe if they train their staff to be more aware when somebody comes in.
The change I'd like to see in the health system support people with weak literacy would be better communication, less medical terms and more simple English to read as people can understand.
Especially this day and age, any pain and ache could lead to anything. And that's, I say, multiplied by 10 when you have literacy difficulties.
Health literacy is an important issue for all in healthcare, and it is an issue we can do something about.